Hey, Billy.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you think anybody will notice that things are a little different?
Probably not to any appreciable standard.
Do you think we should tell them then?
Nah, they're smart people. They can figure it out.
Okay. I hope we don't run out of battery life there in the top left.
Somehow I think we're fine.
Okay then. Since we've decided that we're not gonna say anything, let's just go ahead and start.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Greetings, gentle viewers!
Howdy, howdy!
We're the Bittersweet Gamers!
I'm We Square!
I'm the Opinionator!
And nothing fishy is going on whatsoever!
Nothing has changed at all! Please don't pay any attention to these higher resolution graphics! Isn't it weird that perhaps the definitive version of this game is on, like, a mobile device? It's just, as a person who's been playing handhelds all my life, it's really weird to think about that.
Technically not unsimilar.
Unsimilar, yes.
I meant to say dissimilar. Shut your face.
Well, you're unsmart. So!
Oh, I am unsmart.
Last time, the stress of 30% emulation speed was too much for us. But now that we have some crazy guy, furthermore, the person who is the perpetrator, as we know, because the game starts with that.
I mean, they already told us.
And not having to deal with that 30% emulation speed and Rafa causing dimensional vortexes wiping out the universe, we should be pretty good. Let's see if we can actually get somewhere in this trial. All right, peace, love, and understanding. Let's see just how wrong you are. Full of not peace and hate and unsmartness. I'm gonna be quiet now.
To bring justice against the transgressor, man. Yes, of course. I'll do all I can. I'm a poet and totally know it.
Nice poetry there, bub.
In the name of her holiness, I vow to sing, not but the truth. I swear to bring. Hit me, Daddy-O.
Oh my God, please, no. And I will hit you. I will hit you.
No physical violence in the courtroom.
But you keep threatening me with ripping out my... Wait, I'm not...
I'm Phoenix.
Attorney. Ripping out tongues.
What I saw, baby. After the morning dance of devotion, to go back to my chamber, I got the notion.
Oh, he's singing, I see.
Don't you know my chamber's on the way? To the temple's treasure room. Hey, hey.
Don't you know my chamber? Yeah, we can't get it like that.
Any small footsteps I can quite clearly hear if anyone to the treasure room goes near.
Yeah, no singing, I'm afraid.
Albie was the only one. Line, Albie was the only one.
I guess that's the chorus.
Before the blackout, one other than roll, only Albie to the treasure room did stroll.
Okay, so Phoenix in the past has had to deal with a cross-examining rapper who was rapping his testimony. It was highly amusing. So now we have to deal with a gamelan player playing his testimony on a sitar while doing traditional song.
That sounds like fun to me.
Yeah, well, let's stick it to this guy. I didn't even pay attention to his testimony because he was busy doing rhymes. It should actually make it kind of full of holes, right?
Yeah, because it's not really clear testimony, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Tell me I was hallucinating just now.
I can't. It'd be lying.
Like, can you believe Mr. Roll bit the big one after that? Harsh, man.
I share your sentiments. You were the one who discovered the victim's body, weren't you, Mr. Andistan'dhin?
What?
You found the body as well? He really is a key witness, then. I will fry you with my laser beam. That's right, brother. After the blackout, I went to reset the breaker and give power back to the people. Revolution! The circuit box is near my chamber. That's not suspicious in the slightest. So I'm always the man for the job. You feel me?
He is the most suspicious man. So you mean
he lives in the storeroom?
His room is across from the storeroom?
Oh, it must be that door icon that doesn't have anything on it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Well, it makes sense if he's the guy with the key to the treasure room.
Why would you live down there? That's like living in a basement.
He's a monk.
But he's the head head monk.
That's a good point.
The breakers are in the first floor hallway in front of the storeroom.
On the way, I got a whiff of something funky. Blood, man. Really harsh my mellow, you dig?
Harsh your mellow?
I knew something wasn't kosher, so I swung by the treasure room to see what's what.
You're not even Jewish!
And it was like, whoa, man. There was poor Mr. Roll, dead as a doornail.
Oh, well, since you've explained it all like that, I completely understand it. Wow. Okay, I guess Albie's guilty then. In the interval between the end of the dance of devotion and the blackouts, the only ones who went to the scene of the crime were the victim and the accused. So you see, Mr. Andistan'dhin's unassailable account, just like Damon said, is what led to the accused's arrest.
Oh, I'll assail it, all right. Hold it! That should have been a cut-in. Isn't it possible that the murder took place before the end of the Dance of Devotion?
Probable.
Yeah.
I mean, he was still hearing the song while, like in the insight, he was still hearing the song when he was killed.
I mean, they said that was the training song, but, or the warm-up, the practice, but yeah.
Yeah. If he was saying
Yeah!
that was the training, that was the practice that was played over the speakers which, and they have not addressed this. We were expecting this to be important. The speakers still had power during the blackout. Okay.
You're right.
During a power outage, but okay, whatever. Maybe it was just the lights and not the sound system.
Yeah, especially if he, did it on purpose.
But
hit the right switch.
But
yeah.
if the prosecution is asserting that what the song from the insights that Roll heard was the practice, then it is not possible, but by their own argument, the murder did take place before the end of the Dance of Devotion.
Yeah!
Yeah, it was the practice, right? So
it would have had to have been the practice, because otherwise he would have been upstairs performing.
That is exactly what I was about to say, that Andistan'dhin had to have been down here, because when it was actually being performed, he would have been up there playing.
Yeah! So that doesn't really counter anything, what we're saying. It had to have been the practice.
So, who was playing during the practice? And is it normal for Andistan'dhin to not be there? That's the thing we have to focus on. That's what we need to pin on, yeah. Is this timing.
Pin on? Yeah.
Pick on? You bully. I'm afraid that's not possible. The only bully here is me. The victim was in the performance hall until the very end of the dance. That doesn't even make sense with what they're asserting themselves.
Yeah, that's a clear contradiction.
That does
He was?
How is that possible?
Yeah, give me some proof so I can shove it in your face and point out how wrong you are.
We spent all this time talking about insights and even threw Rafa out over this. But what he is saying and what the insight said are not similar.
Yeah.
They directly contradict each other. Would you like some proof?
Please.
How's this? A photo taken by a tourist of the morning dance of devotion. And there he is.
My, what graceful dancing.
Okay, hold on.
But this doesn't prove anything if they're saying that it was the warm-up, though.
Before anything else, Andistan'dhin has a different shaped Damalon.
Hey, you're right.
The one he's holding right now is round, and that one is like an electric guitar sort of styled shape. Now, the next thing is, Roll was there until the end of the morning dance of devotion.
Okay,
And so he was killed before the afternoon dance of devotion?
Yes, they're claiming he was killed during the warm-up in between.
Okay, so that might, we might have been off on the timing with that.
But this
is the morning dance.
This is the morning dance. That doesn't...
No, we're mistaken on part of the timing then with what we were saying before. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on, okay?
Okay.
Because we don't have the whole timeline quite right.
Right. I can almost hear the sound of Mr. Andistan'dhin's Damalon now. It's like he just played it a few minutes ago. Payne's right. There's Mr. Roll on duty.
We know the murder happened between 12 and 1, right?
Yeah, that's what the autopsy thing said.
What was it? Let's verify that.
Let us verify, yes.
Yeah.
12 and 1.
Between 12 and 1. So that is going to be after the morning dance.
Yes.
So that was happening during the warm up for the afternoon dance.
Yeah, the practice. Yeah.
And it had to, so, but it's just like, where's Andistan'dhin during the
practice. Right.
Never overestimate the incredible pain. Wait, I think I got something fundamentally wrong in the line I just read.
Don't worry, Mr. Payne. I don't. So in addition to Rayfa's insights, he had backup evidence lined up too, huh? Ooh, a new piece of evidence. Let's go take a look at it.
As head monk, my monks in training are like my own kids.
See?
Like
Look at the
family.
Damalon. It wasn't just...
Can you dig it?
You're right. I wonder if maybe the container wasn't the murder weapon after all. What if he clubbed Roll over the back of the head with that Damalon?
And that's why he has a new one. Check. Go to the autopsy again. Hit with a blunt object. That's all we get. Cerebral contusion from a head injury. Now go to the Roll body photo.
Okay.
There is blood on the treasure box, but there's blood on Roll's hand too, which logically we were like, he must have just touched his head, right? Because that makes sense. If you've been hurt, you touch your injury.
Yeah. Like in shock at least, or something like that.
Well, no, hold on.
Uh-huh.
I got to make sure not to lose. I have two trains of thought going simultaneously. I just got to make sure not to lose one. We need to know why his hand is bloody, because what I just said, what we had thought of earlier, is completely wrong. But before I get to that, we could say that the treasure box, that blood comes from Roll's hand. That's the only thing that makes sense. Now, why it can't, what we were saying about his head in shock, that can't be possible. We saw the moment of his death in the insight.
That's correct.
He was KO'd and killed when he was struck.
Yeah.
This also deals with the fact that, because remember, I was starting to go berserkly angry about Ninja Andistan'dhin flying 25 feet down the hall in front of Albie with a flarking glowing in the dark box. Okay, I understand it, but it's like, this is the treasure box. Everybody is going to see that, and he's like wielding this while charging forward, and nobody notices that he's holding the thing that is like a big deal, holds the Founder's Orb and then clubs. And during like a 1.9 second time frame, it was so ridiculous, right? Him using the Damalon would help explain this discrepancy.
Right.
And maybe the way that he got the blood on his hand, this is just conjecture, I suppose, but came from the fact that he was transported on the cart. And there was blood on the weapon, and so there was blood on Andistan'dhin himself.
Okay.
And something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's
like maybe like there's blood on the ground, and then like when he picked him up, his hand fell in it or something.
There couldn't have been blood on the ground unless he cleaned it up.
Well,
but yeah, you're right.
Something to think about.
So we're probably onto this.
Okay, let's check out the new.
That's not bad from getting all of that from a different shaped Damalon.
Okay, nothing else really suspicious here.
We just stared at it.
I was just double checking.
I wonder why Roll has the Bandito scarf and like the other guards haven't.
No, they've had him.
No, the scarf, not the headband.
Oh, the scarf, yeah. That's so his character model is more easily identifiable.
Yeah, that was so that he could be suspicious and then put it up over his face to frighten Albie.
Yeah.
I should have taught Albie better, man.
No, I don't think that's right.
Before Her Holiness, the Holy Mother. Oh, Albie, confess your sins, my young brother. Oh God, I've transpositioned with him!
Well, it's like I was saying, you can't tell who's on the stand where. Head monk Andistan'dhin, I didn't kill Mr. Roll, so I don't have anything to confess to the Holy Mother.
Shadow.
He is so adorable. Okay, so this means there wasn't any sort of collusion between Andistan'dhin and Albie.
Right.
I just find it so hard to believe that Albie would turn and run instantly in that situation.
I mean, he is a kid. He's like 9, 10, something like that.
Yeah, he's 9. It's just like if somebody I knew who is armed in the course of their job confronted me with a weapon, I wouldn't run away. But that's really all my problem is.
Right.
There's more going on in that situation than we know of. Or it probably wasn't, he was just scared. It's not about acting rationally, but...
Yeah.
It's just my first reaction would be like, what? What are you doing?
And it's kind of strange he didn't go and get help or, like, find someone else, you know?
Yeah.
What? Bogus little man, your faith is weak, like a wet paper bag. Are you feeling me?
And he's just, not only is he pinning everything on Albie, but he's just being an asshole doing it.
Yeah.
Spare the rod. Hey, baby, spoil the child. Not maybe. That's some of my wisdom I read in a book. Her holiness is magnanimous, son. If you confess your guilt, she'll forgive you in the Twilight Realm.
Oh, I was expecting a rhyme or something.
In the Twilight Realm, he's saying you can die in peace if you die for me.
I don't suppose she could forgive him in this realm first. That's kind of extreme.
Well, to be fair, the Holy Mother has been dead for quite some time.
That's true. That's true. Defense, please begin your exhumation. I don't think that's what it's called, Your Honor.
You haven't quite mastered the word yet. Something that I did want to point out is that I kind of don't really like the music so far. It's all too somber. I'm not saying it needs to be energetic, but the music in the other games is always really fun. And I think this... I mean, it's not like we're too familiar with it yet, but it's not producing the
same
right
kind of emotions.
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah. Because it's maybe too period-y setting-y.
Right.
Also, we're probably only noticing this because we're the Bittersweet gamers, so we talk for 97 minutes over like
Let's talk about the butterfly design at the base of his guitar stem.
Yeah, we'll do that for like forever, and then we'll move through a bunch of stuff pretty fast. But. So this is probably why this is the case, but it seems to me there's a huge amount of silence and not music. And then when it comes up, there's just like brong, like one note, like one note in the background being played. And I just, it doesn't draw you in as much as the others, right?
Yeah, I get that same feeling.
After the morning dance of devotion, to go back to my chamber, I got the notion.
I have a question.
Lay it on me, man.
How dare you interrupt the performance of the great pees'lubn Andistan'dhin? I was really enjoying that. Sorry, but there's something about that name I can't put my finger on. What's so funny about pees'lubn Andistan'dhin? I love how wide his eyes are.
Yeah.
You had a question for me, brother? I don't know why I'm waving this at you like it's some sort of charm against evil lawyers.
Maybe it is.
You were playing something during the dance of devotion, weren't you?
You know it, baby. I was playing my beautiful girl right here, this Damalon, except the picture clearly shows that I wasn't. In offering to her holiness, I play the music, and the singers sing the song of ceremony.
All right.
Mr. Andistan'dhin's playing is the best in the kingdom. It must please her holiness greatly in the Twilight Realm. Now then, could you continue with your testimony, Mr. Andistan'dhin? I love the next verse.
I do like how a lot of the presses really just go into the next line like that.
Right.
For the Holy Mother, I keep on trucking. This Damalon still needs some plucking.
That is the stupidest thing I have ever read in the last hour.
You didn't have to read it out loud.
Don't you know my chamber's on the way to the temple's treasure room? Hey.
Hold it! Could you please point out one more time where your chamber is located? Preferably without rye.
He never did,
That's true.
Yeah, man. No sweat. My chamber is on the way from the performance hall to the treasure room.
Oh, well, I guess we never actually looked at that part.
So anyone going to the treasure room would have to pass by Andistan'dhin's chamber.
Okay, no, seriously, I never noticed that.
The doors that didn't have rooms on the map?
Is this the first time that was actually filled in with his
Oh, up there!
See, you didn't notice it either.
I thought it was one of those doors at the bottom of the stairs.
Because of what he was saying. That's what I mean. We just didn't notice it saying Andistan'dhin's chamber. Anyway,
Yeah.
that was all. Again, all the circumstances line up so perfectly for him.
Give pees'lubn a chance.
Oh, oi!
I'm so sorry.
Oi! You're not sorry at all, you monster.
Any small footsteps I can quite clearly hear if anyone to the treasure room goes near.
Even while the song is going on. And by the way, why was he inside his room during the practice?
Yeah, even from inside your chamber, you can still hear what's going on outside?
Temple is a groovy old building, built from Mother Nature's finest.
I love that. Mwah.
You can hear a pin drop through the wooden walls, you dig?
Wooden walls, okay.
In an old building like that, I guess the walls must be pretty thin.
And that's how Mr. Andistan'dhin could know the culprit's movements. It's all thanks to the Holy Mother's divine protection.
But how could he hear it over the dance of devotion music playing? I mean, it's not
Well-
like Albie is like 8 feet tall or something.
Well, it doesn't have to be super loud.
I suppose so.
To hear stuff like that. Let's just move on.
Right on, my man. The incredible pain. I'ma butter you up some more. Nice hair, bro.
Don't mock me.
I dedicate this testimony to Her Holiness.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, there's some. It's a really minor point, but could you check that photo again?
Sure can.
The one that, like the one, yeah, the new one.
The new one, yeah.
Okay, I was just curious to see if the Magatama symbol, or Mitama rather, was going to be on his Damalon.
Ah, I see.
And it looks like it is.
Yeah.
Because like on the Damalon that he's playing right now.
Yeah, that might be like the hollow that's usually in like stringed instruments, like a guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if it had the same thing.
Right.
Like I said, it wasn't particularly important.
Albie was the only one. Albie was the only one.
I'll be the only
Hold
one?
it. How could you tell it was Albie just from the sound of some footsteps?
Okay, I'm gonna say, I can do this. I can do this with people I know. It's not that hard. When I've said that, people have been weird, but I've never thought it was weird.
Right.
Albie is practically family, man. The smooth groove of his shoes are easy to pick out.
See?
Plus, he kind of works under me, you dig?
And he's 9.
But how do you know he went to the treasure
And
room?
I know in any case, I'm not trying to like shore up this testimony. I'm just saying.
Didn't you think it was possible he went to the storeroom at the other end of the hall?
Good point. Good
Yeah.
point. That's why we press.
No way, man. I saw him with my own 2 eyes.
What?
As I was flipping the circuit breaker.
Yeah.
You saw him?
That seems important.
In the treasure room. This you can believe. My peepers peep the sneaky sneak. I'll be.
Okay, so doesn't it mean that like he's gonna change his thing here and then we present the Magatama key at him? Because he saw him in the
guess.
treasure room, but the only way to get in the treasure room is with his key. His key that he
Oh, no,
always
I
keeps
think
on
the
his
key
person.
only works on the lock itself, on the case. Otherwise, Roll wouldn't be able to get in. The sole key for opening the treasure box, not the treasure
Okay,
room. Yeah.
okay.
Aw, no gleam.
And tell us where is it you stood when you saw the accused, if you would?
Nice rhymes, brother.
I'm not going to sing either, are you insane?
When I heard the footsteps, I looked out the window.
Wait. Oh, those are windows.
From my window, I can see the window of the first floor hallway across the courtyard, you dig? And through that window, I saw Albie walking into the treasure room.
Should I have him add this statement to his testimony?
yes.
Why would you?
No, there have been times in various games in this series, because again, this is like quite a few games in, nearly
Right.
10. There have been times when you can, over the testimony, you can ask people to add certain differing amounts of statements.
Right.
The trick is you have to have them add the right one. And you can only add one normally. So,
okay.
So you don't always want to add all of them.
Okay,
But,
I
I
understand.
mean,
Could you please add that statement to your testimony, Mr. Andistan'dhin?
You got it, brother.
I kind of wish there were fewer triggers like that, though. I do feel like for a while the series has been full of the only way you know to like which one is the right one to present the information on, even if you're not following what's going on, is because it's the chain statement. I think that's kind of happened too much in the series.
I see.
Through the window I did spy little Albie with my own eye.
Hold on, before you press this one, this is the one that we're going to be looking at. Do you want to look at the other ones?
Yeah, I think we should.
Before the blackout, one other than roll, only Albie to the treasure room did stroll.
Hold it! How can you be so sure that nobody else was there?
Whoa, man! You lawyers are as uptight as they say.
Everyone's always like this.
Isn't it possible that someone else could have snuck past?
The answer, my friend, is squeaky wooden floorboards, baby. They make such a racket, not even the quietest cat could sneak by me, you dig?
Yes, that makes sense. And all of that just now was simply more of the attorney's unfounded suspicions, I see.
That's the truth, baby. It's all that I sing. The truth is all. It's everything.
I agree with the truth being everything.
You are such a liar, sir.
Honestly, he really annoys me.
Words of wisdom. Words of truth. Baby tooth, forsooth, phone booth?
Yes, you see, that's the problem. Baby tooth, forsooth, phone booth. Much thanks to Mr. Andistan'dhin.
Is everyone singing
Let's
now?
bring an end to defense grandstanding.
Come on, Phoenix, you know you want to. He is. You're
Oh,
not
you missed the
stopping.
chance to do it with the song.
You're not stopping me until my client goes free. At the end of this, we're not.
Wait a minute, why am I singing?
You're just getting caught up in their pace. Just the way he wants it.
Right on. Even the lawyer's joining in, baby.
This is great.
Everybody's starting to feel the groovy vibe of my far-out rhythm.
The problem of reading lines is we can never catch it just in time with his singing.
Are you aware that you just rhymed right there, Damon?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Zuba.
I refuse to let him run this show.
But
I'm the one who crashed it and have absolutely
the
no right to
crazy
be
witness
here.
has always run to find the pace of the whole thing.
I think I found the flaw I've been looking for.
It was in the one he changed.
Andistan'dhin was in his chamber on the second floor. But there is something that definitely should have been blocking his view.
See what I'm saying? It's just like I pointed out in the last time. You get to the end and they're just like, that's the one you do. You pick this one.
Right, right.
I mean, come on.
Hold it! Through the window, you say?
That's right, brother. There's a courtyard outside the window of my chamber. Across the courtyard, I can see the window of the hallway to the treasure room. Man!
Judging from the diagram, I guess that's plausible.
A view of the courtyard from your chamber. How nice that must be. I bet it's beautiful at this time of year, what with Khura'in's butterflies flitting about.
You know it, Pops. I often look out into the courtyard while playing my gamelan. And it goes a little something like this.
No, that's perfectly fine, Mr.
Nope, it's too late.
Understanding. So that line of sight, huh?
Would be kind of a shame if there was something potentially blocking your view, man. Like, I don't know, the hallway shutters, for instance. Well, Mr. Andistan'dhin, it would seem that there's a flaw in your testimony. Objection!
Yo, real dramatic there by giving it all this stuff before you yell. Yeah, nobody cares now. Great job, great job.
There's something off about that, Mr. Andistan'dhin.
My music is off? I'm sorry you feel that way, man.
No, your playing is fine if that's the genre you like.
Maybe this vibe ain't topping the charts where you're from.
No, it's fine. That's nobody's talking about that.
What's your poison? Orchestra? Jazz? Soul? Alternative? Hip-hop?
Can you play that?
There's nothing wrong with my ears, witness, but something's not quite right with your eyes.
Hey, maybe he has X-ray vision.
I suppose that.
No! Mr. Andistan'dhin, you've been lying to this court.
Now why would I lie? Mr. Lawyer Guy, I got nothing to hide.
I like mine better.
Yeah, I do too.
Truth and truth alone is all I sing. Lying, y'all? Nah, lying ain't my thing.
This is kind of pathetic, isn't it?
I contend otherwise. My traumatic pose demands you address my issues. Do you recognize this object, Mr. Andistan'dhin?
Yeah, it's a random scroll.
It's a temple notice, man. What of it?
In this notice, the following instructions to the temple monks is written. All of the hallway shutters will remain shut for today's dance of devotion.
What you talking about, Phoenix?
Man, who's gonna remember that kind of reference?
I'm talking about the fact that from your chamber, you couldn't have seen anyone going into the treasure room through those shutters.
Ha!
Well, the thing is,
Looks like you didn't get the memo. Rather suspicious for the head monk not to get it right.
No way, I don't believe it, man.
Wow, he's really nervous.
If you don't believe it, why don't you read the notice for yourself?
Here's a shovel. Dig your grave.
I can't dig it. Let's see, something, will, something, for, something. I can't see through all the sweat.
Are you maybe the head monk who writes these?
Is that your idea of reading?
I'm not so hot at reading Khura'inese, man.
You're the head monk!
I usually get one of the other monks to read stuff for me, you know?
Where are you from then?
I'm from Japan-land.
Doesn't that make your duties as head monk a little difficult?
Hey, cut me some slack, man. I only moved to this country 6 months ago.
No, that makes sense, but how did he get promoted? Was it just because of his playing?
Maybe. That's quite recent, isn't it? So, how did someone who's only been here 6 months become head monk of a temple?
Because of his super famous awesome playing.
How little you understand. Religious faith can't be measured in months or years. Look at me.
I suppose that's a fair point.
Are you a religious pilgrim now, Mr. Payne, or are you just here because you win all the time?
We've assumed he'd be the religious pilgrim for a while, but it's probably more like the succeed in job.
I've only been an adherent of Khura'inism for 3 months myself. The Holy Mother's teachings really spoke to me, prompting me to stay in this country where I can succeed in my profession instead of being constantly humiliated.
Well, you know, we get what we want out of our lives. Or was it the fact that there are no lawyers here that spoke to you?
Mr. Payne, I know just how you feel, my man. I know your pain. Her Holiness's teachings spoke to me, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present Brother Dumb and Brother Dumber.
It's like you said in the previous episode. These are really just like pop culture references instead of like referring to previous things that's happened in the series or like any kind of actual humorous, like inherently funny thing based on the situation.
Yeah, I feel like the earlier games, which is all of them up until Dual Destinies, they use like the witticisms in the script. Like the joke was in the script, not in you knowing Doctor Who or a 90s Jim Carrey movie. And that's why I think that the quality of the localization has kind of gone down.
Yeah. Well, I know why Payne suddenly became a believer in Khura'inism.
Like, a joke is... There's setup, there's execution, and that involves expectations, and there's a punchline.
Yeah.
But a reference is just... there's
Hey guys,
There's-
remember the Teenage Mutant Ninja
there's
Turtles?
setup and there's a reference. There's no joke. The joke is just saying, did you know that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles exists? Not a joke.
Yeah. Well, I know why Pain suddenly became a believer in Khura'inism, but could Andistan'dhin have had an ulterior motive for becoming a believer too?
To steal things, it also makes sense that
There have been a lot of thefts after all.
we had started to assume that it was Andistan'dhin that had done it.
Right. Mr. Andistan'dhin, were you really in your chamber as you claim?
What? Hey, be chill, brother. I am totally trustworthy.
He was in the storeroom, of course.
Weren't you instead somewhere else?
Now try and say he was in the performing, perhaps.
Mr. Wright, what kind of nonsense are you spouting now?
Why are you sweating, Mr. Payne?
Well, you gotta shut down the defense.
According to Mr. Andistan'dhin's testimony, he saw Albie with his own eyes. Therefore, is it really nonsense to suggest he could have seen Albie from somewhere else?
Go in that direction, huh?
Well, I sense some sort of a trick, right? I don't like it when you trick me.
Do you have a theory, defense? Do you know where Mr. Andistan'dhin was, if not in his chamber?
If he wasn't in his room, then...
It must be the hallway then.
Yeah. If Albie had gone down the hallway towards the treasure room, there are only a few places he could have seen Albie from. I do have a theory, Your Majesty.
So is it gonna be in the? It would be by the breaker, I guess.
Yeah,
or
because
around
he
the
would have been the one to
storeroom.
flip it to turn the lights off.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen yet.
That's true.
That happens.
Well,
Whoa.
remember, if Albie's telling the truth, then he never went to the storeroom. He came down the stairs and ran into Mr. Roll.
Right. There's also something else that I thought of.
Uh-huh.
Just to make him even more of a ninja and make this even more freaking preposterous, right?
Kawari me no jutsu, bro.
He would have been standing by the breaker. Roll was confronting Albie on the stairs, and then Andistan'dhin trips the breaker and runs like 15 feet
In the dark!
and then in the dark, and then clubs Roll over the back of the head with his Damalon.
Well, if Roll was holding the treasure box, the box does glow in the dark. Now, we really didn't see anything like that in the last vision
Why
or
was
anything.
Roll holding the treasure box? Who said that?
I guess no one did say that. I guess I just
he
kind
wouldn't
of...
be holding the treasure box, or there would have been totally different reactions to everything. So
But
what
it
I'm,
did we saw it fall down when he killed him in the beginning. So it had to have been there at the time of...
yeah, because Andistan'dhin already stole it. So he stole the box and was holding the glow in the dark box, and then he flipped the breaker and then holding the box.
He used it as a light source!
No, if he flipped the breaker, he had to have approached with the glow in the dark box.
You're right.
So it would have been glowing, but fortunately, before Albie saw any glow, he turned and ran, and then the glow in the dark thing approached. Now, Albie had the time to be like, oh no, I had better turn and flee because I am frightened by my friend pointing a gun at me, which is admittedly flarking terrifying, but he's scared and crazy things are happening, so he turns and runs.
Yeah.
Also in that time, Andistan'dhin runs like 25 feet down the hall, holding by the time we get to the end, he's going to be carrying the entire storeroom in one hand, all right, while also typing on a computer and eating a sandwich, okay? But he's still gonna have time to get all the way up to Mr. Roll's back and club him to death. But you're telling me, even though everybody else is doing these things and taking these actions, that Roll is just standing still going,
Now, to be fair, we don't actually know the scale of the map. It could only be 10 feet?
That's no... Anyway!
Let's say the witness really did see Albie going towards the treasure room. What then? The defense proposes that this is the only place he could have been to see Albie go down that hall.
Doesn't it have to be around the breaker? Because it would be too simple for him to be outside his door. All the shutters are closed, so I guess he could have seen it. No, he couldn't have seen it from the window.
If what he's saying is true, this is the only place he could have been, because he couldn't have been in the storeroom.
I was just trying to see if it could be anything else, but would it even be advantageous to him if he wasn't, or would? Yeah, yes.
If he was anywhere else, Albie would have like ran past him or something.
Right. I'm just hammering.
Yeah, I gotcha.
The premise of the thing.
So
it has to
take
be that.
There? But you just suggested earlier, I don't understand with competing narratives here, that's where the true culprit might have been.
True, but no matter how I look at it, this is the only place Andistan'dhin could have been.
Mr. Foreign Lawyer, don't tell me. Are you accusing Mr. Andistan'dhin of being the true culprit in this case?
Yes!
Yes, your majesty. I contend there's a strong possibility this witness is the murderer.
After all, he's been doing this for a long time, and that's usually the case.
I mean, just look at him sweating up a storm.
It's really hot outside.
He's the one who's lying.
Yeah.
How dare you be so disrespectful?
I mean, after all the other disrespect I've shown everyone, like, I mean, Rayfa, and I'll stop now.
First you criticize her benevolence's insights.
Right.
Now you accuse the head monk of murder?
Objection! This is the only place the witness could have been. If he was here, he could have struck the victim down from behind and moved his body to the treasure room.
That's nothing but groundless conjecture!
And there's one more thing. Do you remember what was said in the opening argument?
The opening argument? I only have a memory of about 5 minutes.
During that argument, it was suggested that Albie used his position as monk in training to get his hands on the treasure.
Aha! Well, naturally.
That's right! And what of it?
Well, why don't we try this twist on for size? The thief used his position as head monk of the temple to get a hold of the treasure.
What?
What?
You joshing me, man?
The key to the treasure box has been passed down from head monk to head monk. What better position to be in if you want to steal the treasure?
You can't possibly be serious.
No, I'm Phoenix.
Does this mean you're claiming that Mr. Andistan'dhin's oath of faith is nothing but a lie designed to get him close to the treasure?
Apparently.
Oh my. Wait till the missus hears this.
The witness hasn't been truthful in his testimony to this court. So clearly, he isn't above lying.
Bang!
Didn't you swear to the Holy Mother that naught but the truth would you bring?
We already caught you, man.
In light of that, I don't think it's unfair to call your faith into question.
This is ridiculous. Are there no limits to what this lawyer will say?
Excuse me?
I mean, lie is such a strong word. Maybe it was just a mistake.
And who's... Ah.
Enough with the nervous wreck routine, prosecutor.
He's figured out his next lie.
Damn straight. Mwah. You're just embarrassing yourself, man.
I'm trying to stick up for you. After all, you are a person who is using a proposal of religious faith, a pronouncement rather, for personal gain. What?
What was that, Mr. Andistan'dhin?
Lawyer man, you really are the lowest of the low.
Says the man who is attempting to execute a 9-year-old boy.
Don't forget the guard I actually killed. I mean, you've gone and said something I can't forgive, now that I've had enough time to think of a way out of it. I will banish you with my spirit beam. You called my belief into question, my faith in the Holy Mother. And nobody gets away with that.
Oh, is he gonna get mad then?
Oh my god!
I see.
What on earth? That music, it's making my ears bleed.
This is what the kids are listening to these days. Where'd you get the speakers?
They just manifested behind him.
The same place where Albie got that crate.
Yeah. This is the music of my soul.
So I gotta say, right? Every time you see in those gallery shots where it's like the camera spins in a circle around the gallery, right? That's what I'm saying. When I'm saying you can't keep track of who's on the stand. Because if it were to swap over to Albie being there and then do the gallery shot, Albie would be on the stand.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
when did Andistan'dhin leave? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's really confusing.
It's stuff like that. It doesn't matter that much. I'm really not that concerned about it, but it's a blatant inconsistency throughout the series that I think is funny because you can't tell who's on the stand, but oh well.
Are you saying you can't tell when Andistan'dhin is on the stand?
Very good. I gave that one to you.
You did, I took it.
Oh, God. Death to the lawyer! I'm the Twilight Messenger, can't you tell? Gonna take this lying lawyer straight to hell.
This is ridiculous.
I'm having a lot of fun with this.
He's dripping with lies, running with Philistines. I'm gonna send that lawyer to the guillotine. I don't think that's how that works, buddy.
It's Philistine, buddy.
Oh, that was my fault then. To the guillotines.
Ow.
And now for something completely different.
That plinkety-plunk music just wouldn't let me express my rage.
Your rage, huh? Despite all your rage, are you just a rat in the cage? I can do it too. Isn't the real source of your anger having your lie exposed?
You just don't get
And
it.
then that text beep. Now it's the...
If I lied, it's 'cause you drove me to it.
What? Come on.
All sniffing around and suspicious and throwing out false accusations.
Sorry, but as a lawyer, I'm afraid that's my job. And I'm pretty good at it, buddy.
Yeah, well, lawyers are crap.
You're crap.
The occult's wait, no.
Keep making noise and I'll have to use my partner here on you.
That's an interesting little, illusion, don't you think?
Yeah, I guess he already used his partner on roll.
Also, it is funny that you mentioned how his other one looked like an electric guitar.
Uh-huh.
I'm the one making noise.
Hey, so you want to know the truth, huh? You can't handle... Sorry, I won't make that. Think you can handle the truth, do you? Fine. Let's see you try.
Okay, throw a lie at me, buddy.
Feel the heat of my brutal death beat.
Your brutal death beat!
Ah! Savage, right? Sweating bullets, ain't ya? The screams of my soul are gonna make a mosh pit out of this peanut gallery.
And they're all like, please bring us more of your blue jeans and rock and roll into our country.
Did he really just win the court over with that performance?
Yo, geezer, I got something to testify.
Did you hear the audience out there doing like clapping along
Yeah.
and stomping their feet?
Yeah.
Get ready for the howling of my soul. I call this chart topper Soul Screaming Truth.
Ah, more of the truth. That's how we know it's a lie.
Jesus.
The soul screaming truth.
The priestess's dance had come to an end. To the music storeroom, my way I did wend.
You wind?
Death's truth is what you dread. Hear me shred.
This is something, like, the extremeness of it is something that I do really like about the more recent entries into the series. They had a chance to go more visually crazy.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
maybe more than a little over the top, but at least it's really funny.
Yeah.
From my spot in front of the storeroom, I saw Albie creep to the treasure room. Technically, that is a legit rhyme. One is a compound word, and I'll just continue. And trailing from behind, hound on the scent, I saw patrol, after Albie he went. Me and my girl here, innocent and sweet.
Innocent and
back by the
sweet.
storeroom, can't be beat.
Maybe that one's innocent.
Then out went the power, ticket to midnight. Blacker than blackest black. Crimson beyond all blood that... robbing all sight. Yeah, baby, let that soul metal flow. Do we get to press this statement?
Yeah, I really want to press that one.
What is that music? I've never heard anything like it. I can't say I approve. And it's so fast, it's making my head spin.
It's just never really been my thing.
This is Damalon Metal. My voice is not going to last this recording. Hey, yo, Giza, how are those ears ringing? Better answer that phone.
I don't know much about music. But I've got chills, and they're multiplying. I'm just gonna shoot myself.
You scared, lawyer man? Run away, fast as you can.
I'm kind of scared of your song, yes? Are these your jams, Payne?
What a wonderful rhythm. The perfect accompaniment for further deliberate. What did you go to the music storeroom for?
Hey, I went to put my Damalon away. It was all covered in blood, see? She's my precious partner. Gotta give her a good rest after playing in the right.
Oh yeah?
But then why did you lie before?
You have to give her a good rest after playing in the right.
Because you'd send me to hell.
Huh?
We all know about lawyers and their lying, lawyerly ways.
What I mean is, he'd already played, but this murder is happening during the practice for the afternoon dance of devotion, and that's when he's going to put
Well, we still have
his
no...
Damalon away.
We still don't know if he's, like, a part of it or not. He hasn't said he is, so until he does, then we can't point that out.
But after the practice is when you do the actual thing, right?
That's true.
Anyway.
Am I right, people? If I admitted I went to the storeroom, he'd have drummed up a false charge on me, like he did. I didn't want to get sent to hell. What do you say?
Yeah, he's right.
That's
so
so
what
what
happened.
Now I see why that Defense Culpability Act was passed. You feel me, Khura'in?
Yeah! You said it, yeah!
Is it too much to ask for a low-key
Trial!
Yes.
You've
Yes.
never had one of those, I know.
Now you punks ready to rock or what?
Bring it, testimony! We'll knock you to hell, but there's no energy in me saying that right here.
I can't hear you. I said you ready to teach this lying lawyer how we do things around here? All right, then I'm gonna lay it on you one more time, or as many times as you need. The screaming truth of my soul.
Uh-huh.
Soul screaming truth indeed.
You know what happens if I go to a concert?
You go deaf?
Yes.
The priestess's dance had come to an end. To the music storeroom on my way I did wend.
Hold it.
I love wind.
You say you went to the music storeroom.
I clicked the wrong thing.
You say you went to the music storeroom. But how do we know you didn't go to the treasure room to steal the treasure instead?
And on what grounds would you base that accusation? Got anything to show for it? He's right. I don't really have any proof. And yet...
Yeah,
Well, you can't prove that you didn't go to the treasure room either.
that's a logical fallacy. The burden of proof doesn't come... The burden of proof is on you in this case.
You stole the treasure and were ready to make your getaway when you saw Mr. Roll. So you panicked and ran into the music storeroom. Isn't that right?
That has to be right, but you can't prove any of it at this time like this.
The gallery's not buying it.
Why do I feel like I'm being stabbed by icy stares from
every direction.
Now you see, Billy, this is what happens when you jump too far forward. It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong, but it makes...
My hubris.
This silence is your answer, lawyer man. This audience knows the score. They're completely unbiased. Just what we needed! A moment of silence to bid this lawyer's baseless claim goodbye!
I love how he was able to, like, 360 around his body.
Without tangling up the cord.
Or his hair.
Why do they have to hate lawyers so much in this country?
Because you're here. Literally for no reason other than that.
I said it before and I'll say it again, lawyer man. After the priestess's dance, I went to the music storeroom. Wheelie wee, wheelie wee! Death trust is what you dread. Hear me shred.
Let's press this statement. Hold it?
I don't think that's a contradiction.
So what exactly do you mean by death truth?
It's the blade of truth that's gonna send your lawyer soul to hell.
Oh, death truth. The blade of truth that sends your enemy's soul to hell?
Oh, that sounds amazing.
I'm gonna remember that. Death truth.
A sea of blood will be the last thing you ever see.
I feel like there's a little more hostility here than there needs to be.
I think it's par for course with everyone else being hostile. I'm not sure I want to get what he's saying at all.
I don't expect a bobblehead like you to understand.
No, that's barbhead, not bobblehead.
Well, I can't just take her benevolence's word. Either you get it and feel it, or you don't. Simple as that. From my spot in front of the storeroom, I saw Albie creep to the treasure room.
Hold it. How did Albie appear at the time?
Come to think of it, he was glancing around all shifty-like.
See, I didn't really initially spot the contradiction. I generally don't worry about it too much until pressing.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I mean,
this isn't it.
It's kind of surprising he didn't see me when I saw him, since he was glancing around all shifty-like.
Boy, that's one of those things you can't prove.
You could tell he was up to no good.
Like, how does he do that?
Shady,
Okay, no, there
I
is
tell
a
ya.
strap. I couldn't tell if there was a strap or not.
Oh,
it always
I see.
looked like there was a strap when he spun it. But you can't, I couldn't see it the rest of the time. So it's like, is he manifesting a strap out of the death ether?
The death ether.
I'm just gonna add death to everything. Like, what's that death saying about people who live in glass death?
Not where I thought you were going with that.
What's that saying about people who live in glass houses?
Well, he was about to steal the death treasure, so it only stands to reason he'd look furtive.
Don't you start. Objection!
The defendant admitted he was sneaking in to see the treasure box.
Wouldn't that be why he was looking around?
What's that, people? Only the Holy Mother knows the truth, you say? Bzzt, wrong! Pees'lubn knows the score, baby. From my lips to our Holy Mother's ear, an artist only sings what he saw there. That probably wasn't intended to be a rhyme, but there you go.
I don't like that type of rhyme, but I don't like poetry either.
Yeah.
I like everything, but I like all kinds of art but poetry. Man, poetry and me don't get along.
In other words,
My reasoning isn't as good enough for God Boy here.
And what did you see next, Mr. Death Andistan'dhin?
Jesus Christ. This is going to be the death episode?
and trailing from behind, hound on the scent, I saw patrol. After Albie he went. Something tells me this is going to be a spectacular waste of time, but what do you mean by hound on the scent? What? You don't get it? It's always the same, y'all. Lyrics questioned without mercy.
Who's he quoting, himself?
The more famous the song, the greater the controversy.
It wasn't your lyrical sense I was questioning, though.
That can't be possible. I'm just wondering if this is the one we need to focus on.
I say hound on the scent like a hunting dog, 'cause, you know, Raw was a guard and all.
Roll! His name is Roll! Pot Roll!
Patrol! Uh-oh, here we go.
The inspiration came to me suddenly, like a flash, and...
Hold it! Please no more.
That's okay. You don't have to explain your lyrics anymore.
Hey, you're the one who asked.
The look in his eyes, it's like they're bulging out with such intensity that they're gonna fire beams.
I knew I shouldn't have asked. Mr. Understanding, you're still on the stand, so please stick to your testimony. You can explain your lyrics to me later in Damalon class. I'm sure the wife will be thrilled.
Fine, have it your way, geezer.
There's worse things to be obsessed with than your wife.
That's true.
The show must go on. Slash and thrash.
That's what we're gonna do to you, bucko! Okay, go back to that last one just for a second.
Wait.
It's like, this is the thing that I'm telling you, that...
Yeah, this does seem like the questionable one.
But because I feel like we ought to be able to prove that. Let's move on, though.
Yeah, you're right.
Me and my girl here, innocent and sweet, back by the storeroom, can't be beat.
That is so
Hold it.
stupid!
What exactly were you doing in the music storeroom?
And all this stuff's a waste of time, but anyway.
I don't see how that answers my question.
Ah, the ignore method, huh?
There. Get the picture?
Probably new strings or something? I don't know.
Well, he's lying, it doesn't matter.
I see.
And we can't prove it regardless.
Yeah.
Picture? What picture? This picture? Maybe this picture. Could it be one of the other pictures I have as evidence?
Mr. Andistan'dhin is requesting that you not ask him the same thing over and over.
Hey, geezer, you got it in one. Take a bow, baby.
Oh, thank you very much.
How the heck did he understand that?
Well, he is a student of his.
That's true. What was I doing in the music storeroom, you ask? I already told you. I was taking care of my partner in
Funny
crime
he puts
here,
it that way.
getting ready to put her away. Like I'll be put away.
But see, would you believe it? Then out went the power, ticket to midnight, blacker than blackest black, robbing all sight.
Hold it. Where were you when the power outage occurred?
Like I said, I was in the music storeroom.
So actually, maybe this is the one we need to worry about, because we can certainly say, like, the breaker is right there, buddy.
That's true.
My girl had been sounding a little off, so I had to get her back in tune.
Cough. Isn't it true that you were actually in the hallway at that time? The hallway, you say? Why would I be in the hallway? You were waiting for Mr. Roll to come back from his patrol of the treasure room.
Now that he'd discovered that the treasure had been stolen, you were going to kill him.
That's true.
Lawyer man, just as always, so full of bull,
I thought he was gonna say spam.
spewing noxious lies and pulling the wool.
I liked mine better. Pulling the ham.
Filthy lies through and through, and I ain't never ever gonna forgive you.
Wow, Billy's headbanging.
I got the hair for it.
He does. Utter lies with no evidence. As always, his claims are just tenuous.
Welcome to Phoenix Wright, the musical.
I'm really not any good at this.
Hey, nice, prosecutor.
Yow!
What you're throwing down.
Someone stop their jam session, please. You've made your assertions clear, defense, but your argument is rather unsubstantiated.
Very much so, yes. This is worse than it normally is for poor Phoenix.
Yeah,
Normally, he doesn't go that far.
right? That's not good. What's so funny, pees'lubn Andistan'dhin? Nevertheless, the possibility is still there.
But can you prove it?
You can't deny the witness could have killed the victim under cover of darkness.
You're forgetting one very important thing.
Huh?
It seems you've forgotten that the outage happened by chance, not design.
How do... what? Oh, that's right. How... what?
Well, it's just a power outage, is what he's saying. It's what
Yeah.
they're claiming.
But there's no way to. How can they prove that? Especially if he's right by the breaker switch.
We need to discuss this
Okay,
point, see?
okay.
That he's right by the breaker switch.
Oh, that's right. I did forget about that.
Well, it's because it's not true, but we have to prove it.
Yeah.
Dang, Phoenix! Jumping so far ahead.
Maybe it's only fair I'm playing him.
It's not like the witness planned the outage so he could take advantage of the darkness, even though he was right next to it. And without death darkness, it would have been hard to sneak up behind Mr. Roll and kill him, especially if, as you allege, Mr. Andistan'dhin was holding a green glowing-in-the-dark box. Death box!
I think we're getting too far ahead here.
Oh, sorry, I'm doing it too. It's contagious.
Everything's contagious.
Death contagious.
You're right.
Death Zuba.
Even I would death notice someone coming up behind me.
Hey, you're getting in the spirit of it, Judge.
Ho, 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 ho.
Death cough.
Well, defense, what do you have to say about that? What can I say about that?
Mr. Wright, your claim is completely without merit. You probably shouldn't have accused Mr. Andistan'dhin in the first place.
Unless you want to argue that the witness somehow magically made the outage happen 5 feet from the breaker.
Well, maybe not magically, but
I mean, wasn't that the point that we were getting at a minute ago?
Wait, that's it. I contend the witness could have made the power outage happen.
So in this case, it's not that any of the statements had to be presented, but you had to actually get through the whole thing, press him on all of it, and get to this. Which sometimes that's how you advance.
With no magic necessary, just the magic of technology.
What?
You have a theory, defense? I'm so shocked at how sharp you are. I'm not just talking about your hair.
All he had to do was make use of something shown on this diagram.
We point at the breaker, do we?
What did the witness use to make the power outage happen?
We're just going to point at the same spot every time. Take that! The witness was in the storeroom. The circuit box is on the storeroom end of the hallway. There's nothing really magical about turning off the breaker, wouldn't you say?
Wait a minute. Even though I predicted it, how could I not see this coming? You mean you create a possibility to do something when you're right next to the thing that causes the effect to... Oh, death gnurk.
Death gnurk! Nice try, but that theory doesn't hold water.
It doesn't fly!
Ow!
And why not? You're saying I turned the breaker off and then snuck up on Mr. Roll and hit him? In pitch black darkness, with no source of light whatsoever? That's what you're saying?
Well, you know how to contradict that.
Yeah.
Come on, I want to talk about the light being off and these like weird 1.9 second gaps. Come on, frothing at the mouth, Ninja Jesus!
With the lights off, that hallway is blacker than 100 midnight.
Unless you're holding the treasure box!
Wait, aren't there windows leading to outside?
There's that too, and it's in the afternoon, so...
And if he was by the breaker box,
but the
there's a
shutters are
window.
closed.
Good point, good point. You can't see the hand in front of your face. How could anybody commit murder like that?
If they were holding a glow-in-the-dark fucking box!
I don't know what you're talking about. Unless it was somebody standing right in front of the victim, like the accused.
I hate when he's right. I just hate him in general.
But I can't just let his point stand. Well, maybe the victim was holding something that served as a guide, like a glow-in-the-dark fucking box.
Is that a technical term? A guide through the darkness.
That's right! That's what lawyers are!
Something? That's more than a little vague, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, I do, but that's never stopped me before.
You thought I was going to say death agree, didn't you?
I did.
You ain't gonna move this room with a half-baked hunch like that.
Bro.
You gotta hit 'em hard. Really make 'em feel it. You hear me? Just like my verse, baby. Woo!
Well, I'm afraid I don't understand the witness's lips very well either. That's why I'll see him at my class later. But in a trial, your arguments have to be clear and precise. Let's see some of that clarity and precision now, defense.
Gladly!
Uh-oh. What do I do?
Well, you probably better save the game because I think we're done for now.
I think that's a fair point.
I bet we're gonna nail him next time, though.
Oh, yeah.
We'll death you next time!
Ha 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 ha! Did you just threaten our viewers?
What if I did? Ow!
Yeah!